Hello guys, welcome to Data Crafting Lab. Trust you are able to learn one or two things in my previous lesson. I really appreciate you all. In this lesson, we'll be discussing sales reporting and our emphasis will be based on dashboard. One of the benefits of a good analyst is ability to build a dashboard, an interactive dashboard. Now, in this lesson, more of our emphasis will be based on dashboard and by extension using some charts. Now this data is from a shopping mall company and we have, if I click on this my row now, shift control arrow down, we have 9,994 records here. Now we also have the order ID, that's the date, the transaction actually took place. Now the customer's name, now the segment. Now now, this company actually does what? Classification of item by segment. Now, by segment, I mean there are goods that they are what? Corporate related, there are goods that they are what? Consumer related, and there are goods that they are what? Home office related. They actually classify their goods just for what? Easy analysis. Now, they also have what? Column for state, where all this was these customers actually came from and their region, central, east, west, and so on. Now they also have column for what? Category and subcategory. Also their what? These are the product name. Now for the category, they have what? Goods that are what? Furniture related, technology related, office supplies, and so on. And for the subcategory now, it's just like a what? A sub to what? To all these um now, like all these chairs, furnishing accessories, they are just like a what? A subdivision to all these what? These goods under the what? Under the category section. Now, if you look at this, okay, let me use this furniture. Now, look at this furnishing. Okay, look at this. We have chair here. Now, look at the product name. We have what? Global Comet Staking Armless Chair. Now, let's look at another chair too. Furniture, chairs, global, leather, and so on and so forth. Now what this actually means is that what? They are all chairs, but what? They are all chairs, but they are under what? Furniture, and they are what? This chair, they are quite different from each other, but they are all chairs and they are what? Under the furniture. So this subcategory is just like a subunit to this what? To this category. These are the product name we actually have. Now let me scroll down. This is where we have the metrics. This is sales, the quantity. Let me increase the cell length a bit. Now this is the quantity, this is the discount, the profit here, and so on. For this profits, now profits are classified as a gain. Now for instance, now if it is whether it is negative or positive, they are all classified as profits. When it is positive, we classify it as a gain, and when it is loss, when it is negative, we classify it as a loss. So it's cumulation of the what? The positive and the negative that actually give us this what? Positive value. Now when the company actually have a what? A positive value, so that means the company is actually making a gain. And when they actually have a what? A negative value, that means they are actually having a loss. Now just observe something. For the year I actually add here, I just want to make use of it. I want to add a slicer for a year. So that's why I include this year. Now this is how I arrive at the year. Now equals to year open brackets. I choose the, let me arrow right, shift control arrow up. I choose the first date and I what? And I close the parenthesis and I hit on enter. Shift control arrow right. So that's how I arrive at the year. You can see that. So I can just do it again. Shift control arrow down. Sorry, shift control arrow up. Let me just delete the year and come back equals to, bring out our year, click on it. Now scroll right. Now hit on this. Now I'll just close parenthesis and I'll hit on enter. Can you see now it has automatically calculated the year for me. So that's how I got that. Now let's get our pivot table now. Let's get to work. Now click on insert. Once I click on insert, now click on pivot table. Now it's asking me, is it on existing sheet or a new sheet? Now let's take a new sheet. Click on hit on OK. Can you see it now? Our pivot table is actually out. Now let me drag this pivot table field a bit to this side. Now drag it down, increase it. Now, the first thing I actually want to get is what? The customer lead. That is the total number of patronage we actually have. There are some customers that actually patronize us more than once, but I don't actually want to get total number of distinct customers. That's not what I actually want to get. Now let's get straight to work now. Now I'll be using my role ID to get the total number of what? Of customers, because it actually give me the what? The list of it actually give a list to what? To all the total numbers of customers we have. Now let me just click here. I'll bring my role ID to this value. Now once I bring it here, it has actually sum up all the what? Numbers of customers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the last one. That's how we actually have this figure. That's not what I actually need. I'll click here, click on the value field setting. Now I will change that sum to count and I'll hit on OK. Can you see now? It has actually given me the total number of what? Of customers we have. Now I'll just come here. Equals to this and I'll hit on enter. I'll tell you the reason why we are using this later. Now let me just put this as customer lead. Customers lead. I'll hit on enter. Now there are other things I want to get. Now I want to get the total number of profits, total number of discount, total number of quantities. Now I can just copy this, Ctrl C. Now just bring it here, Ctrl V. Let me just increase the cell length. Oh, sorry. Let me just delete this. Let me unfill this. No fill. Now bring my cursor back again. Shift Ctrl arrow down. Ctrl C copy. Ctrl V paste. Now let me just bring another one here. Ctrl V. Let me bring another one here. Ctrl V. Now for this, I want to get the total number of sales. I can just take this and return it here. Let me just scroll down. Just bring out my sales here. Now I can just change it to what? Total number of quantity. Just where is our quantity? Just bring my cursor here back. Change this. Total number of profit. Now for this profit now it added what? The total number of profit, both the what? The negative and the positive. For instance now, where we have, let's say, like 7 and we have what? Minus 3. Now it has added it as 7 plus minus 3. So that will give us what? 4. So that's how we have arrive at this what? This remaining figure. Now to remove this dancing end, just click on escape. Now this I can just rename this as, let's say, this is my sales. Hit on enter. Now let's name this as quantity. Hit on enter. Now I've named this as quantity. Now this as my profit. Hit on enter. Now let me just come back here, shift control arrow down, control C, copy. Now let me bring it here, control V, paste. Now I'll be using this as my loss, hit on enter. Now I will just let me bring my roll ID on row. Now I will now if you look at what we actually have here, now let me just scroll down. Let me scroll down. Now it has actually sum up both the what? The positive and the negative value of the profit. That's why we actually have this, shift control arrow down. You can see it now. That's why we actually have 286397.0217. Now if I scroll up now, you can see that's a figure we what? We actually have for the what? For the sum of the profit too. Now I want to get for the loss. Now I will just filter it out. Now if I want to filter it out now, I will come to this row. No, hold on. Now I will just click on, let me click on this row. Let me just scroll down. Okay, right click. Now I will now click on filter. Now I will click on this what? Once I right click, I will click on value filter. Now um I will come to what? Is less than. I will click on is less than. Sum of profit that is less than, let's say, 0. Now any number that is less than 0 will give us negative, and I will hit on OK. Can you see it now? Now we've actually gotten our loss now. Now let me just shift control arrow down. You can see, shift control arrow up. You can see now this is our loss now, 156131. Now let me just click on it, shift control arrow down. Now this cell reference is N1875. Now shift control arrow up. Now I can just bring it here as, just scroll up, as equals to N1875. I want to bring that figure up. Now you can see it now. That's actually bring that figure up. Cell reference N1875. Now the reason why we actually want to get this loss now is that if we were to stand on the profit alone, we will think what? We are actually doing fine, because this is what? This is the total profit. Now in this case now, we've actually what? Know our loss and our profits, so that we can know how to make some what? Amendment on that. Now let me just copy this, shift control arrow down, control C, copy. Let me paste something around here, control V. I want to use this to get a bar chart. Now I'll just name this as, let me just put bar chart here. Bar chart. I'll hit on enter. Now I'll just come here for my row. That will be subcategory versus, I'll return this versus sales. Okay. Now this row label now, I'll just click on it, click on design, come to report layout, and click on show, or better still, Ctrl Z. I can just leave it. Now let's come here, click on this. Now I want it to show the original name. Click on this now, subcategory versus sales. Now for the next one now, I will just come here again. Let me paste something around here, shift arrow down, control C, copy, control V, paste. Let me increase this cell length so that, okay, I think we are fine. Now for this now, I will use what? That's what? Category. Where did I have my category? category, category, sorry, category versus sales. I'll return this. Sales, where is my sales? Category versus sales. I think we are fine now. I'll just click on it, click on design. Now click on report layout and I'll show it in what? In tabular form. Now the next one now that I want to create is Control C copy. Let me shift arrow down, Control C copy. Now Control V paste. Now for this now, I will change this to now I'll be using this to create a what? A pie chart. I'll hit on enter, and for this now I will be using this to create a what? A donut. Donut chart. I'll hit on enter, and for this now that I'll be using my segment versus, I'll return this segment versus profit. Now I'll hit on it, click on design. Now come to report layout, show it in tabular form. I want it to show the actual name. I think we are fine now. Now I will also be creating a line chart. Now let me just scroll up. Don't let your pivot table overlap. Shift arrow down, Control C copy. Now let me just come around here, Control V paste. Now for this now I'll be using order dates now versus, let me use order date versus order date versus, let me use sales. Okay, now in this case I want to use the month, so I'll just hit on this, I'll click on remove. Now I'll hit on this, I'll click on remove, so I have the month. Now I will now come back here, hit on design. Now click on report layout, show it in tabular form. So order date versus what? Sum of sales. Now so this is what we'll be using the line chart for. Let me just name this as sales trend. Now hit on enter. Now the next one I'll be getting is what? The top 5 customers. Let me just scroll up. Now I'll be using this, shift control arrow down, arrow right, Control C copy. Now let me come around here, now Control V, let me paste it here. Now in this scenario now, for instance now, probably we have some customers. Okay, for instance now, a customer buys a particular 5 units of what? Of items, and we make, let's say, like $2,000, while a particular customer buy a particular item and we make a profit of, let's say, $2,000. Now that definitely, when which one is our what? Top what? Top top favorite customer, that one that what? Buy 1 unit and we make a what? A profit of what? $2,000. So by what? By getting a top 5 customers is what? Some people can argue it as what? Probably some school of thought can argue probably by sales, but I would prefer what? By profit, because I would rather go with the one that is giving us with what? highest profit. Now to get that now, where we have this segment now, I will just return it as what, and I'll bring the what, the customer name. So that's that. Now since we have the customer names now to get our top 5 customers now, I'll just bring my cursor here on any of it. I'll right click, I'll click on filter. Now when I click on filter, I'll click on top 10. Now where we have this top 10 now, I'll just change it to what, to 5, and I what, hit on enter. Can you see now? It has actually bring out our what, our top 5 customer that we actually make what, highest profit from. Now the next thing we'll be doing is we've gotten all information we actually need. Now like what we did for the customer lead, now we'll just do it for the rest also. A equals to, bring this, hit on enter, come here also, bring this, click on it, hit on enter. Now I can just do for this equals to, bring this and hit on enter. So I've actually done for this. Now the next thing, now we want to create our what, our dashboard. Now I'll just come to a new sheet. Now I'll just highlight first to shift control arrow down. Let me just highlight. Let me just highlight these two. I will merge and center. I will merge and center. I'll right click. Sorry. Can just control 1. Now I'll click on fill. Now I don't just want a particular color. I will just click on this for fill effect. Now for the color 1, I can choose anything of my choice. For instance, let me say I choose, let's say I choose this. Now for the color 1. Now color 2, let me just choose something of this. Let me click this and hit on OK. Okay, you can see that. Now for the next one now for the third row, I can just highlight it again. Now control 1, click on effects. Now color 1, I actually stop here before. I can just click on this. For the color 2, can just click on this, choose this, hit on OK. Okay. Now for the color, for the row 4, can do the same thing. Now fill effects, click on this. Now I can just choose this again. For the color 2, I can just choose white, click on this, click on OK, click on OK. I think we are done. Now for this 5, I'll just I'll shift arrow down. Five, 6, 7, 8. Now let me stop at 10. I'll just merge and center. Now for this now, control 1. Now I'll click on fill effects. I'll click on this. I can just choose, let's say I choose this. For the color 2, let's say I choose something like this. I choose this. I click on OK. Okay. Now for this now I'll bring out my, now let me just bring the company in. Let me bring it here as, let's say Blumos resources. Blumos resources. And now Lumos Resources International Reports. I'll hit on enter. Come back here. Change this to what? Let me use area black. Let me increase it. I think we are fine now. Or let me just resume it a bit. I think we are fine. Let me just change this. Let me beautify this company's name. Lumos Resources International Reports. I'll just hit on enter. Now let me come to this area black, increase this very well. I think that 72 is much. We are fine with this 48. Let's leave it at 48. Or better still, 36. 36 is fine. Now let's continue. Let me bring those shape I actually saved now. Now let me bring the customer first. Control C, copy. Now Control V, I'll just bring it here. Sorry. Let me return it back to 36. Now let me come here where I have my shapes. Control C, copy. Control V. Let me just paste it. Let me drag it down a bit. Now let me just copy those things I actually want to use. Now let me hit on this. Control C, copy. Now let me come here. Let me increase this. Let me increase this. Okay, I think we are fine. Now let me come to this where I have my image. Now Control C, copy. Control V, paste. Let me just paste them there so that I won't be going and coming. Discount. Control C, copy. Control V. Let me just paste it here. Now profit, copy, paste. For the loss, Control C, copy. Control V, paste. I think copy. Control V, paste. I think I have my profit, loss, and everything there now. Profit, loss, discount. Okay, we are good to go. Now let me copy this. Control C. Now Control V. That's for our sales. Now let me take them one after the other now. Now let me take this. Let me bring it here. And just reduce this. And drag it a bit. Now the discount. Let me leave the discount like this. Now let me bring the sales. Let me bring the sales around here. Now the profit. Let me increase it. Now for the loss, now let me just drag the loss here. Now I think that's all. Now in this situation, probably if you want to change the color, you can just click on it. Once you click on it, you come to color. Now you can just change the color to anything of your choice. You can see it now, probably maybe this or this and all that. For instance, now if you want to change this, just click on it. You can see it now. Maybe if you want it this way, so any color you want to actually use, it's fine. Now the next thing, now I'll leave my profits, click on it. Once I click, now let me change this profit to green. Now I'll just double click on it. Now once I'll come to color. Now let me put it in green. Okay, I'll click on the loss. Now let me put it in red. Now these are customer lead. I'll come to insert. I'll click on shape. Now I'll choose a rectangle. Now I'll right click, or better still, come here, shape outline, no outline. Let me click on no outline. Now I will just say customer lead. Now hit on end. Okay. Now let me bring my cursor in between customer and lead, and I'll hit on enter. Now this field, I'll click on no field. Now let me undo. Now this text, now I will change it to text color. I can just change it to, let's say, black. Now I will now click on shape. I'll click on shape fill, and I'll click on no fill. Now this I can just drag it somewhere around here. Drag it up. Customer lead. Now come to home. Now let me change this to area black. Let me increase it, and let me centralize it. Let me just drag it around here. Customer leads. I think we are fine. Now I can just duplicate this, Ctrl C, copy, Ctrl V, paste. Let me undo. That's not why. Let me bring my cursor here. Ctrl C, copy, Ctrl V, paste. Let me undo. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 4. Ctrl V. Let me drag this down. Ctrl V. Let me drag this here. Now just bring your cursor here, drag it up back to where we have this. Now for this now, let me change this to what? Quantity. Quantity. Let me just reduce this. Now for this, let me bring my cursor here, drag it up around here. Oh, let me return it. If you want to change the color, you can actually change it. You can just come here, change it maybe from, can change it to navy blue. Now for this now, let me just change it to, let me just put sales. You can just highlight it and just control it to highlight and change whatever you have there. Just drag it around here. If you want to change the color, just come here. Let's say or royal blue. Let me just move it around here. And this to be just highlight. Let's put this as discount. Control A. Now change the color to, let me see, can just leave it. Bring it here, or and actually change the color. Let's say like, or let's just leave the color like this. Or let me change it to red. Let's see it in red. Or we can leave it in black. Discount. Just drag it up. And this is our profit. Just highlight profit, hit on enter. Now for the profit, let's leave that in green. Let's leave it in green. Let's drag it up here. Can just increase it. Okay, and the last one is, let's just highlight this. Let's leave it as loss. Come here, bring your cursor, click on it. If you want to increase your cell length, that's how you do it. Click on it, just drag it around here. That's your loss. Now I've deleted what we have here. That was customer lead. I'll come here, equals, I want to bring actually the figures of the customer lead, quantity, discount, sales, profit and loss. I'll come here, I'll go to where we have our pivot table. I'll click on what? If I click on this, it will actually give me an error. That's why I actually pick this. I actually bring it out and I'll hit on enter. Can you see the figure is actually there now? I can just increase it. Just increase it. Now instead of it leaving it like this, I can just come back here, put a comma, sorry, click on it here, put a comma. I don't want it in decimal, hit on and enter, come back here. Can just duplicate this, Ctrl C, copy, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, 1, 2, 3, 4, remain on Ctrl V. So let's just pick this and let's just put it around there. Let's just increase this. I think we are fine. Our customer lead is what? 9,994. Now for the quantity now, can just bring my cursor here, increase, drag it up a bit. Now for the quantity, now let's check what we have for the quantity. Now our quantity is what? 3. Now let's come back here. That's now for our quantity. If you look at it here, now let me come here. Now this cell, sorry, this is what? Sales. This is quantity, right? Now this cell is what? H4. Now let's just come back here and just what? Change this what? This B to H. Now it will actually give me what exact figure we have here. Hit on enter. Can you see it now? Just change this to what? Change this to area black. Let's change this to area black. Increase it. Can just come back here where we have this, just put a comma, reduce the decimal, come back here, hit on enter. Let's come back here, Ctrl Z to undo, reduce this, undo. Let me click on back. Now this is the unit of the quantity. Okay, let me just drag it up here. Let me just reduce this a bit. Let me increase this. Okay, now let's come to discount. Now discounts, let's check here where we have discount. Discount is, what's our discount? Now, oh, I didn't do for discount. Let's do for, okay, let's just get the sales first. Now the sales is, let's check, sales is E9. This is our sales, where we have our sales. Let's just return this and put a comma. Now our sales is E9. Let's just come back here and change this to, let's just change this to E9. Hit on enter. Let me return it back. Let me drag it here. Now let's put E9 and enter. Why is it not bringing it? Let's see the profit. Now for the sales, let's just come here. Let's change it if it's not coming up. Now let's click here. Now for the sales, let's copy this and enter. So it will actually bring it this way. These are our sales. Now you can change it from this to area black. Increase the cell length. Let's change it to 24. Let's reduce it. Let me change it to area black. Why is it not coming up on area black? Okay. Let's reduce our sales and take it up a bit. Let me drag it up now. Let me move our discount here a bit. For the profits, let me drag it to this side a bit. Okay. Ctrl Z. Okay. Now let's do for the discounts now. The profit. Let's just check where we actually have the profit. The profit is on K4. Let's just come back here. Now for this now, let's change this to K and hit on enter. Let me check. Okay, that's actually correct. Now for our profit now, let me come back here. Let's put it in a comma and let's come back here. It will automatically change. Now let's come here. Let's change it to area black. Let's increase it. Now let's drag it up to where we have profit. Now this text color, let's highlight it, or let's change it to green. Now for the loss now. Let's check where we have the loss. This is the figure for the loss. That's N185. Now let's just N1875, hit on enter. Now use it. Now let's change it to area black. Click on it. Now let me just, so that the minus sign can be in the front, let me just drag it a bit. Okay, I think we are fine. Now let's quickly do for the discount. Now for the discount, now you can just bring your cursor, a shift arrow down, Ctrl C, copy. Now let me bring it around here, or around here, Ctrl V, paste. Now let's drag it down. Let me bring the pivot field here. Now for the discounts, let me just return this. Okay, let me paste it around here, Ctrl V. Now for the discounts, let me return it. And for the, because our pivot table must not overlap. Now for the discount, now let me just bring it down here. So to get that, now equals to, now what we have here, and hit on enter. That's for our discounts. Now S20, let's just come back here, change this to S20, hit on enter. So that's our discount value. Come here, bring it here, arrow up, adjust it. Arrow up. Let me increase it. Oh, I think we are fine. These are discount, quantity, customer lead, sales, profits, and loss. Now instead of using a negative value for the loss, let me just change it to accounting. Let me come here, hit on this, accounting, and let me just enter. Let me see, does it automatically? Okay. 03. Oh, let me undo. That's for loss. That's for loss. Let me come here. Oh, 03, hit and enter. So Let me just increase. Let me just increase it a bit. Control search, control. Let me just reduce it a bit. So that I can just adjust it and see our correct value. Okay. So when you come across the bracket, you will have known that is what is negative. Now I want to bring out my bar chart. I will just click on it. Now once I highlighted everything now. I will click on insert, click on recommended charts. I will click on bar. Now bar charts. I can use this or this. Should I use this? I can just use any one of them. I'll just click on it and I'll hit on OK. Now once I'm done, I don't like it this way. I want it to what? To come from the what? From smallest to the highest. I'll right click. I'll click on sort smallest to largest. Can you see it now? It has actually changed. Now the next thing I will be doing, I don't want this sum of sales subcategory. I don't need them there. Now I'll click on it. I'll click on pivot table analyze. Now I'll click on this. Now hide all. You can see it now. We no longer have that there. Now the next thing is I want to bring out the what? The value of these bars. Now I'll just hit on it. Click here. Now I'll check for this what? Data label. Now you can see now it's not looking very nice. Now the next thing I'll be doing is to make it very nice. Now I'll just highlight this arrow down. Now I'll click on control 1. Now when I click on control 1, I'll click on custom. Now I'll click on this 0. Now I'll just point 0.00 comma, because I want it in 2 decimal place, space. Now if I want it in millions, so that will be 2 comma, but I want it in what? In thousand. That's comma, single comma, space. Now in quotes, capital letter K, close the quotes, and I'll hit on OK. Can you see it now? It has actually what? Look very presentable. Now the next thing I want is I want these bars to be a little big. Now I'll hit on it. Now once I hit on it, now I'll just hit on it. I'll right click. I'll click on what? Format what? Data series. Now this gap width, now I'll just reduce it. Let's say to like, let me put it at 91. Now you can see now. Let me increase this so that okay. Now I don't want this data to be outside. I'll hit on it. Now I'll right click. I'll click on what? I'll click on format data label. Now I want it to be inside. Center, no, inside end. You can leave it at the inside end, and if you want it at inside base, let me just leave it at the inside end. Okay. Now the next thing, also I don't need these grid lines. I'll just click here. Now I'll uncheck these grid lines. Now it has actually gone. Now I'll just Control X. Now I'll come to where I have my dashboard. I'll bring it around here. Control V. You can see our chart is here. Now the next thing I will now for this now I don't want, let me click on this chart. Now click on format. I'll click on shape fill. Now I'll click on no fill. You can see it now. It has actually gone. So our chart is looking nice. Now the next thing I will do is, now another thing is, now the outline. I'll just come here, click on the outline. Let me increase the width. Let me say like probably, let's put it 1.5, and also 1.5. So the color, which color did I want it? Let me leave it, let's say black. Now another thing is I will name this as, let me just name this as sales will come for sales versus sub category. I will hit and enter. Okay. Now come to home. Now change this, let's say area black. I think we are fine. Now and for this too, let me just change it to area black and bold it. So if you want it for the data also, you can just bold it and put it in area black, or let me reduce it a bit. Okay, you can just change the color to, let's say, okay, shall I leave it on, how do I see it, like this? Let me leave it on white. So, or better still, let me leave it on black. I think the black look nice. You can just change this color to black also. Now the next thing is, oh, I think I made a mistake. I should have, let me come to this format. Now outline. Now let me click on this. Let me click on no outline. I think, okay, let me come back here, the whole chart. Now let me click on outline. Let me leave it at 1.5. Click on it back, put the color as black. I think I've returned it back now. Now let me just reduce this to around here, because we are still bringing other things. Okay, now the next thing is, I want a pie chart. I'll just highlight everything here, make my cursor a shift. Now I'll come to insert. Now click on recommended. Now I will click on pie. Now I'll just, let me hit on OK. Now we have our pie chart. Now let's do the same formatting for it. Now the next thing, I'll click on it. Once I click on it, I'll hit on this guy here. I want the label, the data label, the values to actually show here. I'll check it. Now I'm done with that. I'll click on it again. I'll right click, format data label. Now I want the name to actually show, category name. Now I want the value in percentage. I'll check for that also, and I'll hit on OK. I'm done with that. Now this legend here, now I don't actually need it. I can just delete it and leave it here, since I already have my values in this shape. Now the next thing I will do is I want to rename this shape now. I'll just change this to, let me bring my cursor here. That's sales versus category. I'll hit on enter. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing, what now I want these values to be in dollars and also in thousand, like where I did the other time. Control 1, I'll just custom. Now let me just use this comma, space, in quote, K, quote it back. Now I will hit on OK. Now I have my K here now. So I'll just hit on this dollar sign. I think I'm fine now. Now for this sum of sales now, I'll just click on the pivot table chart. Now I'll come to field button. Once I'll click on it, I'll hide all. So like the way we did for the line chart, and sorry, for the bar chart, I think we are done. Now click on it, Control X. Now come here, Control V. Now let me just drag up. I'll click on it again. I'll click on format. Now shape fill, no fill. Now I'll hit on it. Now outline. Now which weight? Let me just use the 1.5 I used the other time. Now this 1.5 I want, let me just leave it black. Okay. Now these values, now let me just come to home. Click on it. Home, bold. Let me reduce it a bit. I think it's fine like this. Now, and for the title, let's leave it area black. Let's increase it a bit. I think it's better now. So the next thing now, let me just drag it closer to this place. Now the next thing is the donut. I'll just highlight this. Now I will exclude the grand total like the way I've been doing before. Now I'll just come to insert, click on recommended. Now I want a what? A donut. So I'll click on it and I'll hit on OK. Now I'll format it. Now I'll click here, click on this. Now check for this data label. Now for this, after I'm done, now I'll right click, I'll click on format. I'll right click format data label. No. Now okay, it has actually format data series. I've seen it here. Now I'll just reduce it, bring my cursor here. The do not own now, I've actually reduced it. Okay, let me increase it a bit. Okay, I think it's fine now. Now and for the, now let me just rename this as like the way we did earlier. That's the value, that's profit versus segment. Now I'm done. Now for the legend now, sorry, I'll hit on it. Now I'll click here. Now the legend, I want it to be at the bottom. If you want it at the top, you can just click on here. If you want it at the left, this is it. If you want it at the right, this is it. So I'll just leave it at the bottom. So I'm done with that. Now the next thing is Now this sum of profit now, you know how to do it the other time. I'll just click on it. I'll click on pivot table, analyze. Now I'll click on field button. I'll click on hide all. You can see now it has actually gone. Control X, cut, control V. Let me just close this. Control V. Now let me drag it up. Now for this now, I'll click on format. I'll click on format. I'll click on shape fill, no fill. Once I'm done with that, I'll click on outline, shape outline. Now I don't want, sorry, the weight now, let me leave it 1.5. Now for the color, let me leave it black. I think we are fine. Now for this now, I'll just come home. I'll change it to area black. I'll hit on it. Now for the legend now, let me just leave it in black. Now for the legend now, I'll hit on it. I can just leave it black, increase it. Probably let me bold it. Okay. Now for the now let me just increase it, bold it, leave it in black. I think we are fine. Now let's do for the last one. I think now the next one I'll be doing is the line chart. That's the sales trend. Where is it? Let me just scroll down. Did I put that? Oh, this is it. I'll just click on it, shift arrow down. I will exclude the grand total, click on insert, click on recommended charts. Now let me just drag it out very well. Click on the line. Now you can use any line of your choice. Let me use this or this. Let me just click on one and hit on OK. Now these are line charts. Now for this now, you can just leave it in, shift arrow down, control 1, come to custom, click on this guy. Now let's leave it in 1000, click on it, comma space, quotes, K quotes. Now let's hit on OK. Can you see it now? Now I'll click on this, I'll right click. Now let me just add data label, Now for the grid line, I don't want grid line. Let me uncheck it. Now let me format this data label. I'll click on it, I'll right click, format data label. Now the values now, is it left, is it right? Let me just put it above. Let's see it on above. No, center, below. Now let me just leave it above. Let me click on above. Let me just leave it above. Now for this now, I don't need this. I will delete. Now you can see it now, it's looking better. Let me just increase it a bit. And for this now, I'll just name it as what? As for this, I'll rename it as, let me just double click. What's happening to my cursor? Sales trend. I'll hit on enter. Now for this now, I don't need this sum of sales. I'll just come here. Now click on field buttons. I'll hide all. So I think we are fine. Now I'll hit on it all. Control X, cut. Now I'll close this. I'll bring it around the control V. Let me scroll down a bit. Now let me drag it up. Now we'll see arrange it better to look nice. Let me click on format, shape fill, no fill, no, shape fill. Let me click on no fill, and for the outline, now let me click on width. The width should be 1.5. You can use any width of your choice. Now let me leave it black. Now, and for the sales trend, now let me just leave that. Come to home, change it to area black. Now leave it on black, increase it. Okay, I think we are fine. Sales trend. Now let's arrange this. Let me leave it around, let's say, okay, for this now, let me reduce it. Now for the chart itself, I'm coming. Now for the sales trend, let me bring it up. Now I've actually rearranged my chart now. Now let me bring the top favorite customers here. Let me, for this cell, let me just name this as 1. Hit on enter. Now the next one, sorry, 1, hit on enter. The next one, 2, hit on enter. 3, hit on enter. 4, hit on enter. 5. Now these are the top favorite customer. Now this cell, now let me just centralize it. Let me come here. Now let me center it. Now to do it for the rest, I'll just Control C, copy, Control C, copy. Now Control V, paste, Control V, paste, Control V, paste, Control V, paste. To remove that dancing name, just click on escape. Now, oh, there's one I actually need to do. Let me delete this. Let me start from here as 1, the heading, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me just name this as top 5 favorite customer. Top 5 favorite customer. Now let me just centralize it. Let me bold it. Now increase this. Put a background color of, let's say, lemon. Okay. Now for the names now. Okay. In that case, let me just do it one after the other. The next one now, let me just click on equals to 21, hit on enter, equals to, hit on enter, let me click on home, merge, equals to 21, this is the last name. Now hit on enter.
center. Now let me just come and shift arrow down. Let me centralize them. Bold. Can just reduce it. Bold it. Now can just close the formula bar again so that we can see everything under here. I can see the sales trend very well. Click on view, uncheck this formula bar. So I think it's better now. So now let me bring my slicer now. Come here. Now bring in slicer. I don't know why it's loading, it's taking long. Okay, sorry, let me just click on any one of it. Click on slicer. Now I want my region. Let me just check for region and yeah, that's the slicer I want. I'll hit on OK. So these are the two slicers I want. Now if you want it on if you want one column for it, if you actually want one column and if you want two column, you can just increase it here. So that's two column, and for this just click on it. You can just change it to two column. Let me just drag it and bring it around here and bring this to, let me just reduce it. Let me just increase it just to beautify our work. Let me take this up a bit so that I want to be seeing everything. Okay. I think it's fine now. Let me just bring this slicer down a bit. And drag this down a bit. Okay, everything is fine now. Now I will just right click this slicer, I'll right click it. I'll click on report connection. I'll check this pivot table, check this, 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 check this. I think that okay. Check this, check this. I'll hit on OK. Now what I'm trying to do is that once I click on any of these this slicer button, so it must actually reflect, we actually derive this slicer. Now for the second, so we actually derive this slicer from this chart. Now for this second one now, I'll just click on it again. We'll do the same thing, right click, report connection, check this, check this, check this, check this. I'll scroll down again, check this, 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 check this. I'll hit on OK. Now once I filter out anything from this slicer, I want it to reflect on the whole of this dashboard. Now for instance, now if I click on central now, can you see now everything is actually changing? Now let's click on south, it's actually changing. Now let's click on this year, you can see now. So we don't have loss for what? 2019. Let's click on 2020. Let's click on 2022. Let's click on now. Now our loss is not actually showing. Now equals to, let's use this sum. Now let's use this method. Now I'll just scroll up. Now take my arrow up. Now I'll just sum everything here from here on this column, shift control arrow down. Now I will exclude the grand total, close parenthesis, and I'll hit and enter. Now let's see it. Now you can see it automatically bring it in what? Give it a negative sign. Now let's come to our dashboard. Let's see now whether the problem actually solved. Let's see it. Does it change? The east, the south, the west, 2019. It's working now. 2020, 2021, 2022. You can see it. The central, the south, the west. Let me right click, report connection. Probably if I didn't check for all the connection as okay, I didn't check for some pivot tables, that was why. So let me check all. I think that's all. I'll hit on okay now. Now can you see it? It's actually working. East, west, south, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. I can just return it to the normal. Turn it to normal. You can see it now. Central, this is total loss for central. For east, this is total loss for east. South, this is total loss for south. This is total loss for west. Now if I collapse this back again, I return it to original form. Now if I check for 2019 alone, you can see this for 2019 alone. If I check for 2020 alone, this is for 2020 alone. Now if I check for 2021, you can see it. So if I check for 2022, if I want to uncheck the filter now, I'll just click here. Now I'll return it to what? The original format. So that's how to build an interactive dashboard.
Just to help you to learn one or two things in this lesson, I really appreciate you all. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Data Crafting Lab. Click on the notification bell. When I drop a new video, you get notified. Give us a thumb up when you like any of our videos. If you want us to work on any of the videos for you, kindly drop that in the comment section. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.